It's time to clown around in Standard Hearthstone with the Ysera Clown Shaman. This is going to be my twist on the Ysera Murmur list floating around right now, centered around a long-forgotten card of Nostalgic Clown that does 4 damage if you played a higher cost card while it's in your hand, which makes for an easy OTK if you have a lot of mana. Essentially, the game plan here is we are going to slam down Murmur, and then use a Shutter Block to triple the Battle Cry of Ysera, who will then be 9 costs, thus giving you 8 free mana. And then you can use the second Shutter Block to get the 3 cards from ETC's pool, Siege Tank ×2 and Alexstrasza. And then after you do that, you slam down Alexstrasza followed by 2 clowns, and then you play any 2 cost or higher card to slam down the other 2 clowns. But if they have additional armor and you need to, you have the siege tanks to finish them off, or Geppetto as a way to refill your hand with even more clowns. It is worth mentioning before the Mulligan guide that this deck is incredibly difficult to play. You will screw up the combo. Now, for the Mulligan guide of the list, you're going to be looking for any of the Terran package that isn't named Jim. These will allow you to establish an early game board and turn on your siege tanks for later on. Then you're going to be looking for any type of draw power, such as Needle Rock Totem, or any other early game minions. Now, with all being said, let's look at some games. Okay, time for a game against Druid. There's actually a few Druid decks floating around, and weirdly enough, I don't know if it was me. There might have been other people who made videos on Highlander Druid too, but like there's been a lot of more Highlander Druids recently, which is kind of cool to see a deck be revived after like one free card. Sure, I know the deck is rotating out soon, so that makes a little bit more sense. We're keeping Golgarath here just because of the fact that like maybe our opponent is going to play some big type of minion. Okay. They have a Ysera of their own, so we can actually be a little bit more greedy with the combo, right? It actually probably is Dragon Druid, thinking about it. Alright, let's slam down Needle Rock Totem just to keep drawing cards. Murmur is actually really nice to see in the opener. Okay, they're just going to go face. Okay, let's slam and down our Starport. That's an alright piece. Not really my favorite piece. In some matchups, it's really nice, but this is probably not going to be one of them where it's like really needed, right? Okay. Sure, get rid of our minion, that's fine. I kind of just want to use Liftoff because it'll draw 2 cards and then gets them out of the pool from us. Actually, no, let's use Bird Watching first. I'm going to grab ETC. I think ETC is probably the best thing that we can grab here. Okay, how do we want to get rid of this? So it does look like it is Dragon Druid. I just don't know for sure, like, if it's Highlander or not Highlander. I'd assume it would be Highlander, but I have also ran into the non-Highlander version of the list, and that's a cool version too. But I like more control style of decks, or like control and combo are like where I love to make content on and like play a lot of the time. And it turns out the channel does better when I focus on those 2 type of decks. Overall, like makes my life easier, right? Makes it easier to make a short out of like every video that I upload. Makes it easier to just come up with new ideas that might not be the best in the world. This is a great example of it. I don't expect this deck to be great, but it's all right. Like it can pull off the combo if you're smart enough to pull off the combo. And so far, I played around 10 games with the deck, and spoiler alert, out of those 10 games, I've had the combo for 3 games, and I screwed them up in 2 out of the 3 games. So there's that is kind of annoying, but you know, it happens. Sometimes you make a very convoluted combo and you just try to shotgun figuring it out, and it doesn't work so well for you, and you're left with the combo that, you know, works if you have a bigger brain. What I'm saying is, if you're more or smarter than I am, you should have a fine time with trying this one out. I think there's a lot of potential for a similar style of deck to be a thing in the Emerald Dream expansion. Depends on what we see for Shaman, but it just needs like one or two more good support cards. Shutterblock's already a good part of the engine, along with Ysera. You also have Bob, which I don't think is rotating. I could be wrong about that. But like, you have a lot of good tools for this deck, and a lot of the draw power is staying. The totems you're losing, sure, but like, it has potential. Also, Fae was a card that I was going to build a dragon deck around, just getting as many Faes as humanly possible. And then Ysera came out, and I was like, Highlander looks fun, or more fun. All right, let's hex Fae so we don't have to deal with her. Actually, I don't know if it's a her. With the dragon. Fae the Fae dragon, actually. Or fairy dragon. Oh, that could have been so much worse. That could have been. Oh. The fact that they're running Dirty Rat, I get it. Good control tool gets a minion out of the hand that you. We're still missing Ysera. Never mind. I was like, we could maybe go for the combo. Actually, we could still go for the combo, maybe. Because Bob, right? The problem also is like. We could slam down the Bob, but then we'd. It's not a guarantee into what we need. We need Ysera. Let's just launch this. Be a little bit safe, I guess. I think if I wanted to test my RNG with Bob, we would have been maybe fine. But I also like having Bob as just like a backup for Ysera. Also, you can refresh even more mana crystals if you need to go longer. But turn timer is a problem. I will say this. When I was testing Creature of Madness, I was trying a deck that I ended up running into a problem with the turn timer. And boy, oh boy, did that feel awful. Oh, there's Ysera. Do we want to... We have to grab Ysera, right? Actually, we could grab Clown. Because technically we do need the Clown, too. Yeah, we'll just slam down Jim, do a little bit of additional damage to the face. Maybe bait out some type of AoE without, you know... Without making them give up instantaneously. Okay, there's Ziliax. We can use that to grab it off of... Or we can use Bob to grab that. I feel like we're missing a card in our hand for the combo. In my brain... Oh, we need the other Clown. Because I don't think we have enough damage if we don't have the second Clown. We also technically need a 2-cost minion, which is a little bit of a problem. We can use the first Clown to hit face. And then I kind of want to use Bob just to take Ziliax from them. And then we can go face. It also prevents them from resurrecting it with Hydration Station. Golgoron actually would be another card that I guess you kind of miss in this list. Also, speaking of that card, there's a lot of like Call for Arrow decks that I wanted to get to and I never did. And that's definitely one of them. Okay, so that's... Is that guaranteed, the other Clown? We need board space, too, is the other problem. Board space and hand space. I think we also technically have... Wait, did we already use Fizzle? I think this is a 50. Okay, there's the other Clown. Okay, we're going to play very, very poorly here. Before people get angry at me, we're playing very, very poorly. I want to pull off like the full spectacular combo instead of just partial combo, if possible. Just worth saying. Yeah, we can trigger both of the Clowns here, above everything else up. We're so close. This is a game where they could think they're still going to win. So we're going to be smart about it. By smart, I mean dumb. Sometimes you do stuff for the content, right? Content is king. Gotta get that short. Okay, let's see if I can actually pull off this combo without screwing it up. Spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure I'm going to screw it up. Actually, thinking about it, Geppetto isn't needed in this deck at all, but whatever. It makes it a little bit easier to pull off the combo. Okay, so we go Murmur into Shutterblock into Ysera. Get 9 mana from that. We go Shutterblock into ETC. Grab all 3. Start with the Ysera first, the Siege Tanks. We launch stuff. I'm not screwing that up this time. Alexstrasza into Clown, Geppetto, Siege Tank. Actually, yeah. And should be game. We could even go further, but GG. Okay, Mage. I can actually live against Mage. God, I'm gonna keep the Ysera. That's gonna look so bad, but we're gonna keep him or her. Because we are really just needing to, like, draw into the combo against Mage quicker than they can get a huge Colossus up. Which isn't actually that hard of a task to do compared to the previous matchup we just had. We do need to get rid of this before it, like, snowballs so quickly, though. It also depends on, like, what we're facing against, because I know there is a version of the list floating around that is using, like, a light show to do some damage, and then, like, Messadoon as it's cool. It's a cool, like, neat little engine that people are running, but boy oh boy, is it annoying. Okay, let's draw 2. Come on, lock on. Okay, that's actually not bad. I was going to say lock on and probably missile pod is what we wanted to see, but that's close enough. Because this has what? Not a guarantee, but a pretty good chance. Oh, I guess we just AoE. Okay, Thrall's Gift isn't bad for later. I should have slammed this down instead, but that's fine. What are we at? 6 mana? 6 mana gets us Starport and Missile Pod. Missile Pod is a 1 cost, or 0 cost. Draw another minion, a clown, that's good. Okay, good news is, if they trade, we can just launch this. Geppetto's good. Shutterblock's good. Might as well launch this for the mana that we need. Okay, so what we're missing here is Murmur and ETC. Everything else is in hand. This can draw us into one of those, which is good. Come on. We need to deal with them before they gain a bajillion armor. That's going to be such a problem. I guess it wouldn't be too big of a problem if we're smart about when we launch the Starship. There's the second clown. I almost want to slam down a clown just to put the minion on board. Actually, we're going to do that. Because we want to trigger the, or make sure these are, like, triggered. And then we do need to keep, like, a 2-cost card in our hand just in case, too. I am not liking, well, it's only 14 damage. 14 damage, and it's, like, in lethal range of one of the clowns. Oh, they could have made us burn a card. That would have been bad. Okay, just to get it out of my hand. We'll do that. And we'll do a clown. And we'll do this clown. And we're not burning anything, thanks to, because, well, okay. We're at 10 mana. Sure, give rid of our entire board. That's a-okay. It actually helps me out a little bit. I need a little bit of space. Not, like, too much space, but a little bit of space. Okay, so I think technically speaking, we actually might just want to slam down Shutter Block to get triple gem. Okay, this can go down. Okay, triple gem next turn. Because there's no point in launching this starship because it'll flood the board. We don't need triple of that. But the other starship will launch doing a total of 9 damage, which isn't bad. Yeah, 9 damage. Triggers this one. Geppetto, if we're smart, will give us Shutter Block. Because we need 4 hand size for that. I think what the play next turn is going to be Jim into Clown. They really are trying to get us low. The nice thing is this is going to launch and it'll give us a bunch of additional HP. Okay, so plan here is triple Jim, Clown for 2 damage, or 4 damage. Gets rid of everything. Really wastes the animation time a little bit there. Okay, and then we slam down Miracle Salesman. And now we're it's like a 1 in at 2 in 8 chance of drawing exactly what we want. Because we definitely need to use Shutter Block before we draw it. I also will hex this too. Okay. Shuffle this into the deck. Fizzles, that's not bad actually. Okay, we hex this, fizzle that, shuffle that back into the deck, sit back into the deck. There's Murmur. Really would have preferred that wasn't the final card there. Might as well launch this just to launch it. The other thing is, like, we do need to have them have minions live. That's like another like requirement of this combo. Oh, and I guess we do need to draw into ETC before we do the full combo. But it isn't like we have any, like... We'll be fine. We could slam down Geppetto, but, like... Hand space-wise, that actually wouldn't work. Okay, there's Golgaron. So... We have 1, 2... Basically, we have the combo in hand, I think, guaranteed. We just gotta survive a little bit longer. We need to make sure we have like a 2-drop just to that's actually perfect. Let's just go face. 4 cards. I think this would be fine. Oh, well, actually, never mind. I was like, that's not going to work for me. That was almost kind of bad. Actually, this is still kind of bad. Come on. Just a little bit quicker. Not quick enough, but I think we still have game. Like I said, like this combo is so difficult to pull off correctly. Oh, that's a big rip. So, thank you. Oof. All right, now that we're through the games, let's discuss my final thoughts of the deck. So I played around 30 games with the deck and ended up with a 40% win rate, which is actually around where I expected a list like this, especially given the fact that it isn't really that optimized. But I really wanted to, again, use some cards that no one in their right mind would probably ever use. And that's the name of the game on this channel. Overall, though, I could have probably won a lot more games than I did, but the combo is incredibly difficult to actually pull off and takes a lot of knowledge of like the order that you need to slam each individual card down in. And a lot of the games where I was managing to get the combo, which actually was a good chunk of them, I ended up screwing it up in a sequence, and that cost me the game. Overall, the deck can win through the Terran cards within the list, but if you're looking for a big wacky combo, I can't think of a bigger and more wackier combo that you currently can do in Standard, and it will be a lot of fun to hold you over until the new cards come out. Now, like always, if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, bye bye.